two, one. I guess it doesn't give you a countdown anymore. All right, ETM Hotep. Welcome to Freestyle Fridays with the Seshew Medew Netcher. And again, I will welcome everyone who's watching live, who will be tuning in, or will be watching the archive. There's a lot going on this week, and I want to start off by giving our respects and condolences to those who have lost their lives in light of the police shootings of our African American men, black males out there, and condolences to the families and friends. And it's a terrible situation that's been going on. It's a lot of videos on YouTube. The police departments have taken to social media to give updates and show footage and things. So a lot of it has gone viral, and that's pretty primarily the focus of a lot of attention, and rightfully so. So it feels a little awkward, to kind of jump in on a Freestyle Friday with dealing with the language and everything. But throughout the day, sometimes we're looking at these things, we get frustrated, we get boiled up, we get emotional, and sometimes you have to take a break. And people take a break in different kinds of ways. But for us, the Seshew Medew Netcher, we the language, Rani Kemet or Sesh Medu Netcher, something that we enjoy doing, enjoy focusing on. So this is our break away from the news, what's going on and everything. So anybody that's tuned in, thank you for tuning in, hanging out, and maybe this will be a break for you as well. And we like to have a little fun dealing with the language, and we call it Freestyle Friday because we emphasize the method, the 4 steps of the method of transliterating and translating. But the only difference on Freestyle Friday, what we do is that we ignore, or we don't use, the dictionaries or the sign list. And that's what makes it kind of fun, because it allows us to see what we've memorized and see where we are in terms of our proficiency of the language. And the more and more that we do this, then obviously we're going to gain more and more proficiency. All right. So with that said, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Wujau Meneb Erima'at, and we have others on the panel, part of the Seshew Medew Netcher, who will be chiming in. And we'll be doing a picture this evening that was suggested by Brother Sean Phillips. And he posted it inside of, matter of fact, I think he's kind of hogging all the suggestions because we've pretty much been doing pictures that he's posted, but we're picking them as they come. And if any of you all who are listening, who will be listening to the archive, if you have a suggestion or you want to see how we deal with a particular picture or particular inscription, then post it in the Facebook group. Our Facebook group is Seshew Medew Netcher as well, and the link will be inside this video. But we're going to use a picture that he recently posted up, and it has a lot of glyphs on it, so we definitely won't be able to do the entire inscription. Not hardly. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of lines, a lot of glyphs and everything, but it's nice. It looks nice. It's well preserved, and I'll show it in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I guess everybody on the panel, if you don't mind, if you can just have a roll call, let everyone know who's with us and who will be chiming in tonight.
Hotep, this is Peace Family. Rennie Antoine Germain. My name is Antoine Germain. Also go by Hushmouth on Google, and I look forward to assisting tonight with the exercise. Peace and love.
ETM Hotep, Hekanu N, Amin Ra Patah, Kwa E Sekum, I go by Kofi Paisai. I will be chiming in tonight. Dua to the family. Welcome, welcome, and welcome.
Well, Kofi, you be saying you say a mouthful when you introduce yourself. It's like coming to America. I'm hearing horns and everything, but that's good. I like that. That's good. All right. Yeah. So who else? Who else we have with us?
ETM Hotep, this is June, representing from the Pacific Northwest. Welcome everybody in peace. Thanks for all the support. Shout out to Sean Phillips for the submission, and enjoy the show. Hotep.
All right. All right.
And welcome in peace. It's your brother Chris.
ETM Hotel.
Chilling with y'all on this Friday night. Enjoy the show.
All right. Next. Anybody next?
ETM Hotel. This is Damien. Welcome, enjoy the show.
All right. We got two more.
Hotep, this is Tonica, and welcome, and I hope you guys enjoy the show.
All right. For those who couldn't hear, we have Sonette Tonica chiming in, and we have brother Satep. I'm not sure if he just.
Hotep.
Oh
yeah. I just popped in. Hotep.
All right. All right. All right. So we are just gonna jump in and get started. Anybody have any opening, anything you want to start out with? I wanted to acknowledge the tragedy that's been going on. Don't want to make it ever seem like we're oblivious to it by us dealing with the language, because a lot of questions, even before the recent tragedies that have taken place, a lot of people will ask the question, well, what does studying the language do? Like, what is it good for? Why should I study the language? Will it put food on my table? Will it feed my babies? Will it protect us? Will it stop the violence? Will it stop police brutality and things like that? And when that's really when people ask questions or try to ask that type of question, what they're doing is putting mismatching something with something else, and it's just real shallow to do that. And it's just in light of what's recently happened, it kind of brings that kind of questioning to the forefront, which in and of itself is just nonsensical. It doesn't make sense to ask a question like that, because people could just shoot back questions like, what does posting anything on Facebook do to protect someone from getting shot? A bulletproof vest will help out much better than typing on your keyboard. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like that. But I wanted to definitely pay respects to those people, send out condolences to those people who have lost their loved ones, and acknowledge that. All right. So peace to the families, and our condolences. All right. But does anybody else have anything opening? And if not, we could jump straight on into translating. No? All right. Well, I do want to say something about Wednesday, though. We basically had part 2 of our Divine Words Wednesdays, where we discussed the maxims of Ptah Hotep, and we're stressing good character. And in looking through the maxims of Ptah Hotep, you have the maxims of Ptah Hotep, the instructions of Ka Gimni, instructions of Amenemhet and Amenem Emope, and Ankh Shashunk, and I think Ma'akare. No, that's Hatshepsut. I'm sorry. Mary Kare or another person. It escapes my mind exactly. But you have a lot of wisdom text that will are good. It speaks to good character. It speaks to the daily application of living what most people will know as Ma'at. There's a video where the esteemed Dr. Bakedi Amin is in New York. She's on a tour with Mfundishi at I believe at the museum in New York, and there's a video clip of her speaking about Ma'at, and it's very good. I suggest people, you can find it on YouTube, I believe. But she's speaking on Ma'at, and it's not a long video, but she's just giving some information about Ma'at and everything. As the principles, as the general principles of Ma'at, but the daily applications of the ideals that come up under that umbrella of Ma'at, you can find the applicable tangible things that you can apply in your life on an everyday basis right here in the maxims, in the wisdom literature. So it's really no excuse for us not to have something in place where we're actually purposely incorporating these things in our lives. So that's one thing that we stressed on Wednesday, previous Wednesday and the Wednesday that just passed. All right, so we had part 1 and part 2. But all right, with that said, we could jump into Freestyle Friday, and I'll share my screen and we can just get started on it. Let's see. All right, hopefully, please let me know if you can see my screen or not.
Yeah, I see it, but I can't see none of them glyphs.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's far away.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it tonight. It's a real challenge. Sean is putting us up to a real big challenge. People think that we can't do this. So.
Oh yeah, that's that new mini. That's that mini MetaNet. That's that new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is pre-dynastic. This is over 200,000 years ago. They dug this up under they had to go through the Earth's crust and the mantle. They had to dig this up from the center of the Earth. So this is some pre-dynastic stuff right here. That's why it's black. Y'all know that's why it's black. It's burnt.
Okay, so that's when they was digging it and they found out that the world was flat. That's when they found
that.
Exactly. There you have it. So, that's that old. Matter of fact, we can't even call it. Matter of fact, we had to change our name. We can't say Seshew Ma'ani Medew Netcher. This is not Medew Netcher. This is that magical stuff right here. No. But now I'm gonna increase it. I just want to make sure you all can see that. But okay, but I'm gonna leave it right here because this is a nice piece. This is a nice artifact. It is well preserved, as you can see. It's not that damaged. It's contrast from the black. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head what material, what kind of stone this is made of, but the black and the white contrast with the carvings of the glyphs, it's really nice. And it's a lot of glyphs on here, as you can see. They're small right now. I'm going to increase it, but it's a lot of glyphs on here. It's a lot of lines, and you can see some of the figures here towards the top, and so on. But all right, let me bring this up. Let me know when this gets a lot better. You should be able to see it now. Let me widen. I believe you'll be able to see it better. Is that better? Satep?
Yeah, a little bit. I got to pull my magnifying glass out.
All right, let me see if I can do one more time. Let's see. All right, how about that?
Did you see where Atiba had chopped it into 4 sections?
Yeah, I saw that. This is the same picture. The same picture. The picture's pretty big. It's just a matter of how many times I'm gonna magnify it. I don't want it to get blurry. I think I can do one more time. I'm trying to get it as big as I can without it starting to look blurry. All right, how about that? That may be one too many.
That's a lot better.
Okay, so I'll leave it here. I just want to quickly peep at how it looks on the YouTube channel. Oh yeah, all right, that's better.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone and it looks good. I can see it.
Okay. Well, there you have it. All right. So let's see. Get back to it. All right, my cursor. All right, so this is the top um here. Now I should have showed the front. Okay, this is the back. This is the back of this artifact, and on the front, let me just see if I could quickly pull that up. Does anybody have that readily available where I can keep my screen shared and we can go. You can pull it.
Man, and bro, seeing Sean, man, he be finding some nice pieces, but he be finding some pieces, man. I mean, it's gonna take us a couple of weeks to do, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a lot. This is a lot of text right here. This is a lot, you know, and I'm scrolling. I'm still scrolling down. So you have rows and you have columns. So it's the rows stop here, and now we're picking up columns. So let's see how many columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. 21 columns after, you know, not gonna count the rows, but and then it picks up rows again, and then columns again, and then 2 rows at the bottom. So this is a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and like I said, obviously we're definitely not gonna be able to do nearly um, any of it. But we're gonna do we can do like a full row because here we see different figures, okay, and there's no text here. All right, so basically we will be looking at the figure, and we will look at the headdress or the emblem on top. And from these emblems, we will have some kind of indication of these who these figures are. And some of these can get confusing because some of them look the same or they have the same headdress, and it's not quite clear. Even though, like for example, if you can see my cursor, these 2 figures side by side appear to have the same headdress or crown.
The one in the front is a woman, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Where your
say.
cursor is.
Right, yeah. This one looks feminine. So, but this alone will be hard for us to tell, okay, who exactly this is, because you do have a lot of Netcheru that share emblems or look very similar. Like for example, Osset and Hut Heru, when both of them wear the crown, a cow, the crown, the horns, and the sun disk. A lot of people get those 2 confused. But we know the difference when we can see the inscriptions. They have a name next to them. So we will skip this. This is nice, and obviously the text. These images and figures are doing things, or they're here for a reason. They're not just here for decoration. Matter of fact, in ancient Kemet, our concept of art today, it didn't exist back then. Like we'll see the glyphs and the temple walls as very beautiful, and we'll look at it as art, but not in the sense that we see art today. You know, um, this stuff is here for a reason.
Right, it's functioning, right?
Right. It has a function. It has a rhyme or reason to it. It's not just decoration. You know, um, so with that said, I guess we could start at the very top. We got 1, 3, 5, 6 tapering columns here because of the bend. But here's where you get to the meat of the text of what's going on. So we can start here at this row, because I'm not sure how far we'll be able to go. I believe we can get through this first row and maybe the second row, and we'll just keep going. So, all right, with that said, if you could see my screen clear, I'm going to put this at the top, first row. So right here at the top, this first row. Now remember, I'll just reiterate the steps. The steps to transliterating and translations are 4 in number. The first step is to determine the direction in which the signs are to be read. Step 2 is to identify each and every sign. Step 3, and for step 2, you use a sign list, which we're not going to use tonight. Step 3, you would group those signs into words and then take those words and look them up in the dictionaries. And that's what we would normally do, but tonight we're not going to use dictionaries. And then step 4, take those definitions from dictionaries and come up with a sensible translation and being in harmony with obviously the grammar of your target language, which in our case would be English. All right. Now, the dictionary entries that we are getting these definitions from, we're utilizing multiple dictionaries, and we always encourage everyone to get all the resources that you can. Don't limit yourself on one book, one author, one point of view, or whatever. As a scientist, you're going to look at the data, develop methods of discernment to tell what's accurate from what's inaccurate, and then keep it moving. So the dictionaries, the one that we use the most is 2015 version of Mark Vigus dictionary, and we use that because it's electronic, it's free, it's practical because we can use it on our computer systems, laptops, and print it out if we choose to. And also it is, like I said, electronic, which means that you can search electronically. Instead of flipping pages, you can actually type in the word, and then your search into your PDF reader, if you use Adobe, or if you're on a Mac and you're using Preview, it will go straight to those particular words or narrow down those search results. So that's the benefit. Plus, Mark Vigus dictionary has over 40, I believe 40,000 entries now. I believe, don't quote me on that, but it has a lot of entries. Mark Vigus dictionary has all of Raymond Faulkner's entries. Raymond Faulkner's dictionary is another popular one. A lot of people use that. It's handwritten, which is a little drawback. You have to get used to the author's handwriting. But the good thing about his dictionary is that he gives you the citations or the references from where you can find these words or where these words were extracted from, examples. And Mark Vigus doesn't. So that's one thing that that Mark Vigus dictionary is missing. So if you need to find out where these words are found in actual inscriptions and text, then you will have to consult Raymond Faulkner's dictionary, even E.A. Wallace Budge's dictionary. In there, he gives references or citations. Then we have the German dictionary, Wörterbuch. That's handwritten, but it's very, very extensive. It's pretty much the believe it's the biggest dictionary that we have. Big in terms of lexical entries. It has a lot of words, and their where they're found, examples of where they're found, and the different variations. All right, took them years to build that dictionary. It comes in several volumes. All right, but Mark Vigus suffices for us in many instances, unless we want to dig deep. All right. Now, with that said, also, we don't rely on these dictionaries for the meanings. Okay, and I want to make that clear because you have people who will have the opinion that we are limited to early Egyptological definitions, which we find in these dictionaries. All right, we're not limited to it. For the most part, the dictionaries are on point. Wherever we differ from a dictionary or we suspect a problem with a definition, we can consult living African languages that are related to Rani Kemet or Middle Egyptian or just the Egyptian languages, period. All right, and we could do that through a process of historical comparative linguistics, where we can find the cognates of these different words that are in question, and then we can verify. We can either verify it as correct or we can show that it's incorrect. All right, so we're not limited anymore. We haven't been for quite some time. So some people of that opinion, they may not be aware of the new information that a lot of scholars of the African school of anthropology in general, or chematology or Egyptology specifically, have put forth over the past maybe 10 years, ever since Cheikh Anta Diop in the 1970s, 1974, with Diop and Obinga at the UNESCO conference. From that point forward, there's been a lot of information put forth, and it's just not popular because a lot of the information is written in French for the most part, or even in another native African language of the particular author that's writing the material. So it's not popular over here in the States and among the social community, aka conscious community. So a lot of their works go unnoticed and unseen. So you have people that will have these opinions, but it'll be based on limited information. All right. So I just wanted to make that clear, that we don't rely on these dictionaries, but for the most part, they are valuable to us. There's a lot of work that's been put in over the last 100 years in Egyptology, and now we have a way of fact checking it. All right. So with that said, let's just jump into it. So hopefully I gave y'all some time to see whoever wants to start off with this first row. Well, I guess the rows that you see on the screen, the easiest step one. Anybody want to just give us a rundown of step one?
Step one, we're gonna look for some animals, people. So right off bat, you notice a figure far right standing, facing towards the right, another figure right behind with the stick facing towards the right. Notice a bird facing towards the right. So instantly I would know to talk as to talk towards the face, talk to a person. So I'll be reading from right to left, horizontal.
All right. Right to left, horizontal. So we're gonna read from right to left and horizontal. Obviously, horizontal, aka rows, because these are in rows. All right. So that's step one. All right. Now step two. Let's identify some of these sounds. We can start with the first row, anything that stands out, because basically, at this point, anyone sitting down making attempts to transliterate and translate, at that point, you should definitely already have the monoliterals memorized. All right, and we can see like even this first glyph here, the reed leaf, and we can scan through and see the different monoliterals. So let's just, anybody on the panel want to point out some of the glyphs.
Yeah, I'll point out some. You already identified on the top row the reed leaf. Um, other things, the open mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The water ripple up under it. I can't make out what's up under the water ripple, but I see a sage plant. I'm not sure if that's a quail chick that's after the sage plant. I'm quite sure it is because I see the sage plant in front of it, so that kind of gives me give me the thing that it could be a quail chick. I see the horn viper. It's farther over to the left. Oh, I see. Is that the dead symbol right there? We can go back over for up under the open mouth and the water ripple, and that's the dead symbol there. See that? Okay. Identified the horn viper. We already know that's the water ripple. I can't make out those two signs at those circles. I don't know if those are the placenta. They could be the placenta signs. I'm not sure. I see the double reed leaves. I see the twisted flax behind the double reed leaf. I can't really make out what's at the top of that, but I see on the other side, I see the rabbit. I forgot what we call it, the hare or whatever it is. I know it's WNN, WNN. Yeah, that whole symbol was WNN. Yeah, want me to keep going, or that's good? I mean, I can.
That's good. Let's just point out some that sticks out. Like a bird, in general we see a bird, even if we may not know exactly which one it is. But like you said, context clues, because what you just did is something that we always have to remind ourselves of, and that is to be flexible and to utilize all of the clues that you have available to yourself. So just like how you talked it out, like you said, you didn't know what bird this was, but you can pretty much bank on it being a quail chick because of the Sioux, the sedge plant. So, and that's good because that's what you have to do a lot of times. Um, but this one sticks out right here. This is most likely Jehuti, or the ibis bird, I should say. And this looks like an owl. Got a folded cloth, quail chick. This is either an oar from a boat or a down arrow, either one. But now if we were to utilize sign list and the dictionaries like we would normally do, then we would resolve it right now, quickly. But the purpose of us doing the freestyle is to take a shot at it without those tools. And so that's why I'm saying this could either be an oar from a boat or a down arrow, and we will find out which one it really is by actually going through and trying to pinpoint the transliteration of each of these in a row, because then we'll have context to kind of figure this out. And because it's a quail chick, most likely it would be the oar, but I'm gonna skip that for now. Anyway, what else stands out here?
And that's the clump papyrus plant over there.
Oh, right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Here's the throne, what looks like to be the high throne or high seat. We have Kepper, look like Kepper with wings, or just the legs there. We have the Netcher standard, 3 of those in a row. And kind of skip through. We have the fire drill here, and this sticks out because this is what is part of my name. So this is most likely Wuja right here, because the quail chick. What else? But anyway, and we can this is a symbol that we don't really find too much down here. I don't know if we're gonna get to it down, all the way down here, but we see it a lot. We see it here, like right here, over here. So it's used a lot in this text.
That's ha, ain't it?
This symbol here, this sign here.
I can't even. Yeah, that's ha, ain't it?
Oh,
HA. I think it's either H capital A or capital H capital A.
Okay. Well, when we get to it, sorry about that. When we get to it, we will definitely see. Well, if we get to that.
What symbol is that?
This one here, if you can.
Oh, okay. I think that's the lowercase z, capital A.
Yeah.
Za. Okay.
So it's not ha. HA.
It's Za. It's either.
Yeah, that's lowercase z, capital A.
Okay, so it's Za.
Also, you went and looked in the books. I went and looked at the book. Okay.
No, I ain't looking up for
Make me look bad. Go ahead.
Somebody cheating already. See,
Yeah.
Nah, man. I
Well,
recognize that symbol, man.
well, I
I
was
didn't even know what
close.
symbol y'all was talking about.
Well, I was close.
Well, listen,
You was close.
that's good to do it with to partner up with people. Like this exercise, it's good to do this exercise alone because it lets you know personally how proficient you're coming along. But to do it together in a group setting or team up with people and do it, then what you don't know somebody else may know, and that's good too. So I would encourage people to do this alone and with the partner or partners. So this is good.
Yeah, good job, y'all. I gotta work on my bilaterals.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I think that's enough with step two because obviously we're not going to identify all these signs. Like I said, I'm scrolling. Look, it's just a lot of signs. Now we see a lot of signs repeating. So when you go through step two, obviously once you identify a sign and you see it pop up again, you don't have to worry about it again because you already have it one time. So like this fire drill here, I saw somewhere else where I pointed it out, but I see it again here. You see the man kneeling, look like the axe to the head. So I know that's dealing with something, dealing with it's not looking too good. I mean, it's death or something related. A lot of open mouths. You see, you can kind of just scan and see a repeat of a lot of signs. Like we have the Netcher standard here, here, three of them here again, four of them right here. The leg and foot here, the folded cloth, and you see a lot of leg and foot here. Um, so now this one here, this name right here should definitely stick out in everybody's head. This is something that we see all the time. This group of three signs right here.
It's also on the first line that Kofi just did too.
Oh well, actually, I kind of take that back. It looks like we'll see it, but
Right.
you see this here, and you see it up here. Just spot checking it.
I see that weeping eye.
Where's that? Over here.
Second row. Yeah, we run into that on the Papyrus of Annie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So now see how this eye looks, right? And you see the eye here. Okay. Now that we now we can identify this as an eye. Definitely because you said weeping eye, we could see that the sun rays or whatever is right here. So now when we go over to this sign here, now obviously this is just using the clues that you're available. This sign here where Kofi, you're not quite sure, then you could probably fill it in by saying this is possibly an eye now because of the way these others are look when they're a little smaller. Like this one here is smaller. You don't see that little dot there, but it's just a possibility. All right. But anyway, all right. So now let's go through it. Now, when we do this, we kind of combine step two and step four. I mean, sorry, step three and step four together. And step three again is to group the signs as words. And then normally we would look them up, but we're not going to be looking them up in dictionary. And we would come up with a meaning. So while we're freestyling, we almost have to combine step three and step four. I mean, it's just better to do that. But normally you will group all the signs into these words based on skills and things you would have learned in going through the process, and you would be able to identify determinatives or classifiers, and you'd be able to section off the words. And also you have to have a little bit of knowledge about basic grammar to see where pronouns are, suffixes are, and those will help you out to know when words end and when the next word begins. All right, so for step 3/4 together, anybody want to start off with that? We can start with this first line here and work our way. Oh,
What step you say we on, Saber?
Step. Oh,
step 3 and 4.
All right. Look at the first column. The first thing that I recognize is the read leaf, the man standing, and then I believe the walking man with the walking stick is determinative. So I know I believe it's I. Let's see. RN. So is it? I said my name.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep up with you. If you could repeat what you said, I'm gonna follow you with my cursor.
All right. Yeah. First thing I noticed the determinative of the man with the walking stick.
Okay.
So and I in the read leaf. So I believe it's maybe I or my or me. Um, Anyone can help me out. Next, we have the RN.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure what that is behind the up under the RN, like like a little stick or something.
You need to get your own line, Antoine. Get your
Uh,
own line.
I'm still in everybody line. Uh, and then we have like you said this the quilt or the SW.
Hmm. Okay.
No, I believe that W might maybe complement.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you cause see, I was gonna just let you, or just wait while you just take a stab at it as you go along and then chime in, or would it be better if we chime in real time, like, because like you said, anybody get like when you went through these first three, you said anybody can help out. So you want us to chime in as you go, or let you give a stab at the whole thing or wherever, and then.
I rather chime in as I go. That way I can catch the errors as I go. That way, because we try to go back, I might not remember.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So let's take these. Now you already you identified this determinative. You said the man with the stick. So if this is a determinative, then most likely these first two or one constitute a word. Altogether it would be a word. So now I'm just familiar with the man with the stick represents old age, and most likely, and by this being a read, this is most likely the word that's transliterated as I, capital A, and then W, and a lot of people may pronounce it as Yahoo, and it's for like the old one, or an old one or something, an elder or old one.
Yeah, it mean elder, and I didn't even know how you pronounce that. So I appreciate you telling me how to pronounce that, because I always write it, but if someone asked me to pronounce it, I couldn't write it. I mean, I address a Tiba as that most of the time. I don't never just say sin. I always say Yahoo. I get Yahoo now, elder.
Okay.
Now that's
Yahoo
I
where? That's what I call him. Yahoo where, a great elder.
I A W.
Yeah, I, the capital A, lowercase W. Yahoo where?
All right, let me quickly I gotta turn off my notifications. I'm hearing some other noises here. Apologize for that. Yeah, well, the pronunciation, just keep in mind that the pronunciation is, when I say Yahoo, I'm saying that's what a lot of Egyptologists will pronounce it. When a word starts with a reed leaf, other than Amen, for whatever reason, they usually pronounce that first reed leaf with a Y sound. So it'll be like Yahoo, Yahoo. But that's an Egyptological convention, and it has nothing to do with the historical pronunciation. So yeah, that's just how it's done. So yeah, you can continue. I was just wanted to point that out.
All right. So elder then looks like it's RN,
Hmm.
and I can't. Like it's a. I can't see this. It look like a stick. of some sort, and then it's a hand to the mouth. I believe someone with their hand to the mouth. That would be my next determinative.
Mm-hmm. Well, because of the, see, I don't know if you can see it clear enough, but it looks like the sign is for like a child,
Child, yeah.
somebody reclining in a seated position. Mm-hmm.
All right, so next SW. No, she want to get a translation for the next word after the kid, the seated kid, RN, and what's, I don't know what that is next at the bottom.
This most likely. Oh, go ahead. Somebody else had something.
I'm just thinking about the name, but I was wondering what kind of, is it speaking about a youth?
Yeah, that's well, as a determinative classifier, it would give you that kind of semantic range, the classification that deals with young. But here we are saying somebody's old, but now we're seeing a determinative that will kind of lean you towards youthfulness or something like that, So so this will come where you have to be a little bit more familiar. Like we see this is Sue, like you already said this is the Sedge plant, which is Sue, the quail chick, so that's Sue, and then we have RN, so Ren, and this right here looks like the because right let me see if I can blow this up. Can I blow it up anymore? All right, for some reason. Okay, yeah, but see, it gets a little out of focus. Yeah, so that's not good. Let me go back down. But okay, so let's come back to that because now this one we have uh, old age, and usually like I said, this relief would be how people say, even in Arabic. In Arabic, or in Semitic languages, they use this same word or phrase, to say ya, like to call someone ya. They'll say ya with a y, you know, to mean to call out someone to get somebody's attention. But okay, but let's keep going because based on the context, we could probably narrow this down.
All right, so we say Yah, then RN, this SW. I'm trying to figure out my next determinative may be all the way where the man with the walking stick, and so I will just continue doing the ones I know. RN, once again, and then we have sickle or some not the sickle, but it's a tool, agriculture tool.
Right here at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, that's usually will be the word that you'll find in matter of fact in Satep's name.
What Mary? I was gonna say MR or MA.
No, sir.
Help me out.
Okay, now
That's STP, ain't it?
Yeah, FTP.
Mm-hmm.
STP.
well, no, no,
STP.
no, I was saying in his name this would be yes, Satep.
Chosen one.
The choose.
But remember, okay, see, this is the thing. This is the bilateral monoliterals. Like we know the monoliterals, and then so we know that this sign here, how is it functioning in this word? So we have two monoliterals right here, the mouth and the water ripple representing R and N. So either this is a determinative, or it is a actual, it's actual bi or triliteral. And if it's a bi triliteral, and we know it's not a monoliteral, then it's going to be accompanied with a phonetic complement. So we see this quail chick here. So if the quail chick is a W, then most likely this is going to represent that phonetic sound of new, because that's what this sign also represents. Setep as a logogram, the word Setep means chosen, but then as a phonogram, biliteral, it will be new.
So we're going RN NW or RNW.
Well, right now it would look like you would put RN and then you have new. The quail chick will complement this last sign, but you have to be flexible. So right now, as you're going through it, you will probably end up writing down your first pass. You will write down RN then NW. But that
RNW.
because by the time you look it up, you may find out that this is just RNW.
RNW.
And I can't believe it. Well after the 4th of July, and I'm hearing people fireworks.
All right, we got three different circles. I see the FN, but prior to the FN, we have 3 different circles. So 2 of them look alike, 1 doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that doesn't look like the other 2. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is placenta.
Okay.
And so it's gonna give me the Haya karate chop.
Oh, you said so. If it's a placenta, it'll be XFN. That you saying?
XFN. Yep, that's correct. Or that's what I came up with so far.
Okay.
XFN.
Okay.
But I don't know what those 2 circles would be.
All right. I'm waiting for others to help you out. Chime in, jump in, fit in, get in where you fit in. I do want to say something about this plant right here, though. Based on plants, because we're reading from, and it just dawned on me looking back. Because we're reading from right to left, there's only, I believe, one plant that bends the other way. Because if you notice, the sedge is bending towards the right. This plant or this sign, if it's a plant, it's bending the other way. And if that's the case, then this makes sense because it would be Renep, the word Renep, R-P, because that sign by itself is R-N-P. Triliteral. This is a triliteral right here. If that's the plant that I'm thinking about, then it's a triliteral, and the triliteral is R-N-P. And R-N-P does have to do with youthfulness because that is the word Renep, which means that's the same word that we use for years, but in this case, with the child, with this determinative, it deals with years in terms of young years, youngness, youthfulness, and everything. So just just keep that in mind as you go along. Then when we try to make sense of it, then we'll probably be able to use that information.
All right. So we got XFN. And then, like I said, I'm not sure what those 2 circles are. And then we have another man with the stick, but this man is not bent over. He's standing up straight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's definitely a determinative.
I think the 2 circles could be like the placenta, probably.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, you're
The 2.
a bit low.
I'm low right now.
Okay, say something again.
Okay. Am I still low?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my microphone, but I was just saying that I think the 2 circles could be the placenta.
Oh, the ones on top of each other here?
Right.
Okay. So XX?
yeah, but we'll probably have to go through. Yeah, it could be. I'm thinking, and probably we'll have to see reading through the lines, but yeah, and then the next sign could be a determinative for it. Not sure yet.
All right.
Appreciate it. So we'll say XFN and XX with the determinative, and then IRY or IRY or IRY capital H,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then WN,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, next two I can't tell what they are. Like a, I want to say it look like a jar and a comma, but no, I know it's not a jar and a comma. All right, but I do see the seated man with his hand to his mouth again.
Okay. Yeah, the same sign, pretty much like you have over here.
All right, so WN after WN, I'm stuck again.
Now this is WN. Then most likely this is a new bowl. The new bowl in W. I say the new bowl, but it's the pot. It, transliterated as NW new. And then you have the swirl for the W.
Okay, that's swirl. I couldn't tell what that. Okay,
The new.
WN and then NW, the determinative, and then we have DI dot K,
DX.
DI dot K, and then N. So give your.
Okay.
And I see determinative, but I can't. It's like he's seated with his legs crossed. I can't tell what's in front of him.
Okay.
Is that the swirl again? Nope.
No.
Anyone have any ideas what that is next to that determinative, or is that just part of the determinative?
That's kind of hard to see. I can't even make that out. Neither I'm already struggling. I had to put my glasses on, and I got my glasses on. I'm still struggling to see some of those things, but I can't make what that is.
Oh, let's see if anybody in
Okay,
chat is
probably. But it looks like they're working. Like, is that the little thing you guys are talking about?
The little thing in front of this seated man.
I don't know. It looks. I don't know. But it looks like the walking leg. Not sure.
Oh, IW. It sure does, doesn't it? DI dot K N IW.
Mm-hmm.
And we have
I'm just checking the chat. I don't see anybody chiming in. I think this is it's ended up being difficult for a lot of people.
yeah
This is not.
D capital D W H T Y. The next to that is capital HR, I believe. And we
Wait,
said that might
you got? So you got? What'd you get for here? This one?
um,
The bird?
DWHTY.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, you spelled it out. I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to say Jehudi. All right.
uh, Jehudi,
Mm-hmm.
and H capital HR.
Yeah.
And then you said that might be an or it could be arrow pointing down. It's gonna be the or.
Is that yeah? So is that gonna be XRW? Since we say that's the quail
Not
chick, if he said that's the O, XRW,
Yeah, I think so.
Karu, yeah.
Mm.
Since he said that has to be.
Okay, just thinking. but it looks like it's the Heru with the quill chick being the phonetic
What you say?
complement. It looks like it's the word Heru, Heru, like
Yeah,
when you're
Karu.
having Heru. So then the
Mm-hmm.
quill chick will probably be the phonetic complement.
Right, right. That's why I said, because he referenced it as the or sign. And then Antoine said it might be the arrow. The arrow we know is sin. So if it wouldn't be sin if that's the quail chick,
Well,
just like, if you, like I'm saying, if you look at it a while ago, then you can kind of identify what's going to be what. So that's got to be the or, which is XRY, which is Karu.
so
And
you be saying
the quail
like
chick is the complement.
yeah, like we say Makaru.
Yeah,
This
my
is gonna
Karu.
be this is gonna be Harukaru
Where you get Haru at?
or the HR.
It's gonna be XRW. Oh, you talking about?
Oh,
Okay, my bad. Okay, right. Okay.
um,
I don't know, bro. I'm lost right there with that. Now, what is that in front of the or
yeah,
sign?
that's the HR. The man facing forward.
Oh, okay. Man, I can't even see that. Okay, with the slash at the bottom, a straight
Yeah,
line up under.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's her Karu. Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, I believe it's one stroke behind the quill chick, and then we have it's just one stroke, and then what IS, and I see that that's a circle with a dot, so that has to be IS. IS circle with a dot in the L. ISM. Is also walking legs again.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like it.
IS. We have, like I said, the circle with the dot, which I don't want to say raw, but somebody can help me out with that one. And then MIWFN stroke. But we got to figure out what that, how that circle with the dot is being used. Is that going to be a determinative or is that going to be a actual
That
word?
uh, it looked like Ra, the circle with the dot in it. I mean, it looked like it. I could be mistaken. Like I'm playing. I'm struggling to see some of the signs, even with my glasses on. But it looked like a circle with a dot in it.
All right, we can keep it going, then we can try to put it all together. We almost done with half of step 2 or 3 combined almost. All right, FN dot again. N think think is that SW? Help me out with the 3 plants, the bilateral.
Huh?
Yeah, that could be considered as maybe what I was mixing up with Ha. I know it's not going to be Mehu right there. So I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know. What is that behind it? What is that?
That's the HR, the HR again.
Okay.
And then behind that is like an alligator or something.
Alligator.
A reptilian.
Dang. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is neither.
it probably could be hot because I don't know. Last time we are talking about the word hot,
Yeah.
behind the head, and then you have I think the other low one that somebody said the next sign was probably the face. So
Mm-hmm.
it probably have something to do with that, but we'll see.
Now, see, obviously, this will be going faster. Obviously, if we use the sign list and the dictionary. But this is a good exercise. This right here, what we're doing is, showing the point of it forces you to use your context clues and all kinds of other clues and tools that you have learned and know, up to this point. So this is always good to do. But I just wanted to say that because obviously we would try to look it up as we go. You know, um, or to section it off with the words and then look them up. And then by you looking up one word, it'll give you a clue to the next one or whatever, the context and stuff like that. So we're kind of missing a lot of context at the same time. It makes it a little more difficult, you know. But oh, so you want to finish the line, and then we could go back and try to, you know, have another pass at the same line and make more sense of it.
Yeah. So after the gator, we have a reed leaf. So that's going to be our I, but I don't know what that is after the reed leaf. Oh, that's the quilt chick, IW.
Hmm.
Okay. And then we have IR, ST. So we said that wasn't Wasir. It looks like Wasir Netcher. HR.
Yeah, usually when you have the I above it, it will be Wasir.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And then standard behind.
The flagpole.
Hmm.
Okay. And then we have the HR again.
You have to remember the seated bearded man is a determinative for divine. So a substitute or alternative is the Netcher standard. So even though the seated man with the beard is not being used, it's replaced with the Netcher pole and
Well,
or
the Netcher pole was used pre-dynastic or um, earlier, and then later came the seated man.
yeah. Actually, the Netcher pole was used. The falcon on the standard was used, and then the seated bearded man was used. All three of those signs were used to denote divinity. And so earlier you had the pole and then the seated man, but then you have an interchange back and forth.
Hey, couldn't it doesn't it also denote um elder or an ancestor with its the seated man with the artificial beard?
Yeah.
Ooh, I got something on that real quick. There's the beard, the one that's curved is a deity or Netcher, and the one that's straight, I think I have it backwards. But it has something to do with the beard being curved and the beard being straight.
Hmm. Well, I was just letting you know that this is still the word wasir. Right here, you see my cursor. It's just that the seated man that we're accustomed to seeing, it has been replaced with the Netcher standard.
So for the listening artists, Lord, I can't even say the word right. But those that are watching, um, they wouldn't be using Wusir. It wouldn't be Wusir Netter. It wouldn't be
Mm-mm.
WSIR N capital T R. It would be just Wusir, just one word instead of two words, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay. I just want to get some clarity so people, understand it when they see that now. And won't be saying, because our show would have been saying, I'll be honest with you, our show been saying Wusir Netcher.
Yeah, that's only because we tend to, because we're so used to seeing that seated bearded man right here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't realize that that's a determinative in his name,
Mm-hmm.
not part of the phonetic spell out, the spelling of it. So we have the IR, which is here, the I, and then the WS coming from the
Mm-hmm.
high seat. So it's wasir, and then the seated man would be the determinative. We wouldn't be pronouncing it or transliterating anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't be pronouncing or transliterating this Netcher standard either. So it's still wasir.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go to the capital HR again. Uh, then we have the N35 three times. I believe that's
That's Mu.
MN.
Yeah, Mu.
Hmm.
It's MW, wasn't it?
MW, yep, MW. And then we have the IR again,
Hmm.
and I want to say the HR again. And then we have so IR, capital HR, Is that? Oh, is that W?
Talking about that bird?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I
Oh,
cause the tail is different. What it?
WR.
Where you at? Right here? This one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's trying to identify
WR.
that. That doesn't look like the quill chick right there.
Yeah, I think
Let
it's
me,
WR.
let me see how the tail look different now.
Yeah, the tail looks like the WR tail.
Okay, so let's just hold on to that thought right there. And what do you make out of this last?
Man, I don't even know what that is.
It look like somebody throwing karate.
That's that yoga stand, that Egyptian yoga.
Oh, right, right.
I know it's a horn. Ain't that ain't up whatever that is up under the bottom over there? That's a horn viper up under the bottom of it.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, but I just don't know what that is at the top of it. Yeah.
Most likely, if this is an arm, then most likely that's the arm owl combination because it looked like a
Okay, right. Which would be that's me then, wouldn't it? It would be MI, wouldn't it?
MI or MA.
Okay.
MIMA dot F,
Mm-hmm.
and then so it's gonna be somebody becoming or somebody transforming or something. Because there goes your Kepra, and then after Kepra is the WR. So maybe that's not WR. Maybe yeah. That bird on the second line is WR for sure. Or not. So all right. So I feel that the first line might be able to go back over the first line and get some clarity to it, and then I guess finish up with the at
All
the
right, so
bottom.
let's all right. Let me just make sure. Let me see what's going on the chat real quick. All right, anybody watching? We have a few people watching. So anybody watching want to chime in? Now this is a little intimidating because you got a lot of glyphs. They're not very clear as far as picture is, but this is a nice artifact. It's a lot of glyphs on this piece. But we just kind of made our first pass through the first line. And I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody in the chat trying to chime in like we had in the past. So this is I guess this is proven to be a little bit more intimidating than the others that we've had. And that's what it's about. You know, you got to push yourself to learn. And you know, no shame in not knowing some of the glyphs or anything like that because we are we're not using the sign list and we're not using the dictionaries. All right, so let's try to make sense of this line one so far. Let's make another pass through it. So we made pass one. Now we're gonna go through pass two of this first line. Okay, so usually this man with the staff here, actually he's two. I just know these signs to be a word for reverence. Like I said, Yahoo, and to mean old age, to try to get the attention, or not to get the attention, because you would say in Netcher, which means to show me your face or whatever. But it's more so just to call out, like we would translate this, it would be like O, like OH, old elder, or old one. With these first three signs.
So old elder, young king.
Um, well, if this is Renep, then it means to youthfulness in years. So if it's now this is, see, in doing this you have to have a little bit of the grammar as well. And like I said in the beginner's introduction to Medew Netcher, I went over some basic grammar. Um, but a text like this, if we were sitting down to trying to do this entire text, translate this entire thing, we definitely have to apply more grammar than the basics. But in short, this is
You could make this the final exam for the grammar class.
yeah, exactly, something like this. You're right. But what is covered in the beginners are the pronouns. So we have suffix pronouns, independent pronouns and dependent pronouns. So if you notice here, we got this word su, just like how we have in the word Ramesu for the name Ramesses. So Ra gives birth to him. So if this is su for him, then this will be the object of this verb. So this is Renep su. So if that's the case, then this will be a verb. So this will be instead of us saying youth, like the youth as a noun, it would be something that have to do with youthfulness or whatever. So we would have to. So what verb would you pick? What verb comes to mind when you think of something being young? Now, mind you, here we are. We had this old elder or old one, and then we got this word instead of a youth as a noun. Now we got a verb. We got to make it into a verb. So what verb will come to mind in your mind that deals with youth or being young?
Youthful.
His jubilance, juvenile, his something.
Let me see anybody to stop with the ideas. Is this a coffin text? No, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the comments. I ain't afraid to make a fool out of myself. Yeah, all right. That's how you have to be. But Shesmu Patah, no, this is not a coffin text. This is actually a stone artifact. I don't know what stone material.
So you might have to pull it. You might have to pull the screen back out if you missed it, if you didn't see it from the beginning to see where it came from.
All right, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I just shrunk it 5 times so you can see the extent of this artifact. So Shesmu, I'm pulling back so you can actually see the artifact. It's not a coffin. It's not a coffin. It's a stela. Looks like a tombstone. All right, so I'm gonna pull back in, and we're gonna keep going at it. What was that? 5 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
Yeah. So we know the says in the quilt trick, the SW is gonna give us he, him, his,
Right. Mm-hmm.
uh, dependent. So it's like you said, it's a pronoun.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it has to be his, his, and it has to do with becoming young or being young.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
is
I
it
think we
youthful
did
or
that
youthfulness?
last week or something like that. Didn't we? I don't know. What was it that we were doing last week?
Well, which ones, Sinet?
That had something to do. We were working on something last week that had to do with something with being youthful all the time. I can't remember. There was the one we used. Trying to figure it out though, but mm,
Yeah. See, this is one where you have to definitely have to use some kind of material, resource material. All right, but all right, let's try to get through this. So we have old elder or old one. And then, but the reason why I asked that question is because the way this is structured, this is a verb. So this is himself. So it's more like a what do you call that? A reflexive. Um,
I think it's rejuvenated. No.
right, right. So something that's dealing with youthfulness and old age. Somebody who's old rejuvenates himself.
Yeah, I think last week we had the Kepler sign and we're talking about being rejuvenated. So that's what I was
Hmm.
thinking.
So old one or old elder who rejuvenates himself, and then now we can keep going. So this is himself. So it's more like a reflexive thing. All right, so that we could keep on going now. So we have RN. Anybody?
Let me say R N W, because we're trying to figure out that object, that tool. How is that being used? Is that being used as a determinative, or is that actually going to be part of the word?
Now, in looking at this text, like pretty much scanning the entire text. Now, a lot of this stuff is condensed. So even in some of the normal or past inscriptions that we've seen before, where some things will be spaced out a little more, there's a lot more condensing going on. So they've definitely made use of the quadrant that we always speak about, and make sure they fill in the spaces so you don't see any empty spaces. Like that's why when I pulled out, that's why this looks so attractive, because it's aesthetically pleasing, because there's no spaces. Everything looks nice and compact and everything like that. So with that in mind, we may have some things that are together that are not, that are close together, stacked on each other, like this mouth and this N. Because at first glance, you may want to put this R with this N and treat that as one word. But the only alternative to that is to treat the R by itself and then the new by itself. And then,
So you saying the N, the water ripple will go with the quail chick? I see the new bowl at the top, so the new bowl above the horn viper wouldn't go with the. I'm just asking. I mean, I'm just asking just for some clarity. The new, and that would be NW there, and when it that quail chick be the complement to the new bowl, or because I'm asking because I don't think I've seen it like that before with the water ripple and the horn viper, two monoliterals like that together.
where you talking about down here? You calling that a horn
No,
viper?
no, 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 no. I'm saying, you see, I thought you were saying that the water ripple end was going with the quail chick. You see where you said the open mouth might go by itself, and then I thought you said that the end would go with the quail chick
This one
right there.
right here.
Right, right. And I was asking, okay, I had never seen it like that, and I was asking, wouldn't it go with the quail chick, go with the new, the bowl at the top, the NW at the top, up under the quail chick. You see where the quail chick is? I mean, you see where the horn viper at?
Yeah.
Ain't that a bowl at the top of the horn viper?
Yeah, it's hard to make out, but it could be because, well, this sign could be new, and this could very well be, if it's a bold, then that's also new. Then it would be acting as a determinative.
Mm.
Yeah,
Also,
I think so too, because sometimes you can actually have like two determinatives, or one acting like a logogram and stuff like that. So it could be one of those cases.
Okay, so, okay, I got you.
So with the NW, it's R space N space NW. Is that how you transliterate that?
I think you mean R and then NW.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that N, that water ripple, is complementing the NW.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming in front of.
I'm giving alternative because on first pass we would first, at first glance, we would put this R with the N. We would say Ren and then renew or something like that. But obviously, we would have the dictionary to kind of confirm whether even such a combination of glyphs exist as a word. And if we didn't find it, then we would adjust. So I'm giving an alternative in case we wouldn't have found it as renew. It may be R new or new. And then F, because this would be a suffix pronoun on something, his something. So O elder who rejuvenates himself blank his, or his blank, because obviously we would put it in English backwards. So O elder who rejuvenates himself And if this R is there, then it's in according to or towards or to, and then his blank. So, O elder who rejuvenates himself according to his whatever new would be. All right, and by us not having a dictionary, you know, it's not too clear what that would be implying. But we could probably keep going, and then maybe we'll some kind of context down here maybe cause us to go back, fill that in, unless somebody else may know. But this will be easier, we just looked in the dictionary, but we're not. So let's see if we can figure this out by keep going.
So according to his um, NW, after NW will be XX.
Right. So what words do we know that are in W, that whatever this is, if this is a the new bowl pot, or it could looks like a placenta but it doesn't look like these. If these are placentas, then this one doesn't look like that. So I
Right.
don't probably rule that out. But it is circular, so it's either let's look for a sun disk. Well, we see the circle with the X. All right, because we know this is a city determinative over here, if you can see my cursor. So it doesn't look like that. All right, but how about a circle with the dot in it? Um, if
Like the circle with the dots on the first line, the first row.
Oh, you see right here?
Not unless that's half circle with a dot or something.
Okay. See, that looks the placenta and well, I know well, we've realized in simplified Seshew Netcher, which this is not, but in simplified Seshew Netcher, the placenta looks like a circle with a dot a lot of times. Um, I was just trying to see if one stood out that we can rule this out as being a circle with a dot, because if this the case, then um, yeah, see, this is where you have to use a dictionary just to be sure. But my guess, if I had to guess, it's be his something, and if this is a new bowl, then I would be at a loss. If this is a circle with a dot in it, then it will have to deal with um, age, something dealing with age, his age or his time, something like that. So if that will make sense, but we can keep going just to see if that will make sense throughout the whole thing. So we have his whatever, then we have N, and if these are placentas, then it's N X X, and this would be a determinative for that. Nekek.
So is that determinative going to be king?
Right here.
Yes. Determinative with the man with the stick.
You said would it be a king?
Yes.
Oh, well, Nakaka, is for power, so something have to do with power, and then the man with the stick is some kind of something that has to do with the the classification or category of power, control, overseeing something, controlling something, and that's where you get the word for Naket, with the determinative with the arm and hand, and you got the stick in the hand, things like that. So I know this is definitely had to be related to something like that. And then we have IR or Erie. Then we have an H, Win. Now this one is different than that. Now this is a new bowl here. So we have Winu or who knew together. Who knew? Erie who knew. So
I don't know. It
Oh,
looks the
no.
same to me. Mhm.
huh?
Erie who knew?
You say it look the same?
The two bowls, yeah. The pot on the other side, on the other end, and that one. They sort of look the same.
I know we know. You said Erie, Hanu, who we know what Erie's to do.
Right. To make, to do, who does, or who does, or who makes, in terms of Erie.
Who makes, and it's just WN. It's not WNN. To make go. To make come.
To make go. No, now here's another thing, because this is Renep is dealing with youthfulness, and this is another classification of youthfulness. So Hunu deals with youthfulness as well.
All right, so we already have to rejuvenate, make young again.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make great again. I see WN, but I don't see WNN. I know WNN will be my great.
WNN.
Or my WR.
Right,
Great.
WR would be great, right.
Yeah, so WN, I want to say is to make, to go. Is there a button I can push for help?
Let me see. Anybody? Let me see if anybody, because somebody might. It says I might have to join the next class after Tuesday because I will have to miss some classes and I don't want to at Ujao. All right. Well, just so you know, Shesmu and then everybody else, on the classes are recorded, so you can always go back and listen to the recording and watch, because it's the video and audio, and you can see whatever we type. So if you happen to miss a class, and he's speaking about the beginners class that we have going on, and a new one is starting this Tuesday. But if you ever happen to miss a class, then you're always able to go back and watch it, and everything if you miss one. So I just want to let you know, Shesmu. All right, so yeah, let's get through this, because we already at 2 hours mark. See, and this thing is so big, we still on the first line, and we've been on here for 2 hours already. Or have we? Wait a minute.
Let's see.
Yeah, we started. It says we started 2 hours ago.
All right, so we got the WN.
Okay, so let's keep going though. So we got D-Ek. So this is give you, or you give. A lot of times when you see D-Ek, it is understood that it's speaking to someone, so it's not necessarily translated as you. Like, for example, if I'm talking to you, Antoine, and I say, pass me that book. Now, when I write it, as far as in Rodney Kemet, I may put a you in there, but when I say it, or it's understood, that you is understood. So I don't have to say, Antoine, you pass me that book. I don't have to include the word you in there. I just say, pass me that book, please. And it's understood that I'm talking to the second person. So it's not. So a lot of times these suffix pronouns are not necessarily the words themselves. It just indicates the person. Because in language we have the actor of who is the actor that's going on, whether you are first person, second person, or third person. First person is the one who's talking. Second person is one who's receiving the whatever said, and third person is whatever is being said about. And then obviously you got the singular and plural of those. But so this
So yeah, in English we call that imperative sentence, where the you is understood.
right. Okay. Right. And so. And that's something that I'm explaining in the upcoming grammar, that these suffix pronouns are not shouldn't necessarily be seen as the words themselves. People should look at it more so of the person. In terms of grammar, it's we call that a property of a person. We got number, gender, and person. So, and I say all of that to say that even though it says D-Ek, now somebody may say you give or give you, but if it's talking to someone, as this text is implying, then you wouldn't actually say the you in terms of, bringing it into English. So give, and then ne. This is a seated man with the hand extended that we see. You give me, or give to me, or and then D could be give, or not take, but give or allow. Okay, just keep that in mind. Give to me, and then now I skip one, so we got the man here, but then we have these legs here. So give, and then to me. But this if this is IW, you talking about the legs? Somebody said that earlier, right?
Correct. I said that.
Okay, so that's IW, then that means come. That means, the word IW or you. They, as how they pronounce it is you. So DX U and E, which will be allow to come to me, or give, because it don't make sense saying give. Give come to me. But this is a verb, so it's allow come to me, Jehudi. So basically saying allow Jehudi to come to me. And then we can keep going. So
So
allow
now, Judy, come to me. Is that up on or in front?
her will be on or upon, and this is Kiru, then it's voice. And then but it's a reed leaf here. Now I can't make out what this sign is right behind this quail chick, and I don't see it happening again. I don't see it happening anywhere else. I see something there, but that's not the quail chick. Quail chick, I don't see that happening anywhere else so far. Can't tell if that's a defect in the artifact itself. How you got these little dents, see how these dents on the side or whatever, this like that. You can tell that's not part of the text itself, but this looks like it's something. But Kiru will be voice, if that's Kiru, voice, upon voice. Kiru E, if that's Kiru E, then that would be my voice. So Diak U N E Jehuti, her Kiru E. So it'll be let or allow to come to me, Jehudi. So in English we would say allow Jehudi to come to me on my voice, and that's a way of saying allow somebody to pass, like a celebrity, somebody shouting out, and then now let him pass, at my voice. So you're basically calling someone, calling Jehudi. I mean, I'm just talking out loud. This is how I would kind of just go through a process of elimination and talk it out. So allow to come to me, Jehudi, upon my voice. And upon my voice means, at my call. When I call on Jehudi, allow him to come to me.
Makes sense.
And if that is Keru E, which will be my voice, then now the next word will start with S, and this is most likely a placenta because we have Sechem. Possibly.
You said Sekim right there?
If,
so that's the placenta in the middle?
No, if it is. I'm saying if it is. Sechem. So we have some legs. Look like legs going in the other direction. These legs are pointed towards the way we're reading. These are going away. So do we have a word that would reflect that?
So if at first it would let him come to me, just let him exit from me. Or sec him IW.
Well, I don't know if the backwards legs wouldn't be IW though.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the backwards legs are then.
It looks like it's functioning as it's here too, over here.
Well, the front legs, you know, you're dealing with motion, and usually the back legs, when the back legs are used, it's usually in reverse motion, so it's usually backwards.
Going away from something.
Right. Now the front legs can be any motion to denote motion, period. But when the back legs are used, then it's definitely talking about something retreating, something moving backwards. You know, either leaving, retreating, because you'll see that being used in the military inscriptions and texts, stuff like that. The masha, you know, to draw back, to cause people to retreat, and all of that stuff. So you'll see that sign there. But let's just keep going though. Um, did somebody identify these glyphs back here? Now you call that a crocodile or alligator or something.
All right, we have Ian. Then we have the plant, the three plant. I want to say that's. I want to say that's H. M. Is it HW?
You talking about the plant?
Yeah.
If that's high, I think it's going to be capital H, capital A.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, capital H, capital A.
Hey, wouldn't that be with Saber Wuja? Wouldn't that be with?
Huh?
Wouldn't that mean with?
Um,
I'm just guessing. I can't remember. I made people wrong, but
no, henna. You're thinking about the word henna. Henna would be together with or with.
okay.
Yeah, ha would be something dealing
And
with
that's the one you guys were arguing last time about. They were behind.
hmm
Right.
hmm So let me just see how much time we're going, because we're going to limit this to the first line, but we've been going for 2 hours. All right, let's just do this. Okay, we see how far we got without any sign list and any dictionary. So let's break out the sign list and or the dictionary and just do this first line so we can knock it out, and double check ourselves so we can close out this particular session. Unless somebody in the look at Jehudi Ma'at joined us in, went in to be to exist, and Lisa is with us. Mr. Rizla, and forgive me if I'm botching up the names, because you know these are very short names. And Malik X. All right, because we've been going for 2 hours, you know, how y'all feel about let's just go ahead and break open this, so just so we can complete this first line, you know, make sense out of it, because we are definitely struggling with it without the help of the dictionaries. Now, you know, in any normal circumstances, you wouldn't sit here and try to translate something without a dictionary. Even the best of the best use dictionaries. Okay, the best of the best. I mean, I don't care who you look at as the most expert specialist, they will use dictionaries. All right, and like I said, Freestyle Friday, we don't use the dictionary or sign list as an exercise, a fun exercise, in lieu of seeing how proficient we are, what words we recognize, from memory, what signs we recognize from memory, and things like that. And it's like a self-judgment, or in our case, a group judgment type of thing, because we kind of bounce off of each other's knowledge. So if there's a sign I may not know, another person may know and speak up, and vice versa, and so on. And this goes for everybody on the in the Seshew Netcher, and then anybody that's working together. You know, obviously, if you're working alone, then you don't have that luxury. But so, how do y'all feel about go ahead and look these words up? Let's complete the first line.
I think that's a great idea. One of the best ideas I've heard all night.
All right. So since you think it's a great idea, all right, we're gonna give you the honors of breaking out your Vigus dictionary.
Well, I have the M16, which is that sedge plant with that HR. That's going to be HA behind.
HA. Okay.
But all right.
So we're gonna count on. All right. So who has their Vigus available? Anybody have their Vigus available?
I can open mine.
Yeah, I'm pulling mine up. Yeah, I'm pulling mine up as well.
Okay. Anybody have it open yet, or we could wait?
I have mine open, but I mean, it's not the
2015.
Yeah, it's not 2015. It's the well, I thought I had it open. I hadn't opened it up. But yeah, I got
2012.
Yeah, 12. I don't have it. Oh, I mean, I have the 15. I have to open it up. I'll open the 2015. Let me find it. I'll open it up.
All right. Yeah, try to use the 2015 so that we're all on the same page. That's the latest one, and it has more words than the 2012 version. So Mark Vigus updated it. I believe he added 4,000 more words, and it's about, I forgot how many pages that came up to in the dictionary. So that we're all on the same page. So if I say, hey, turn on page 95, then we'll be all in sync with each other. But yeah, I just don't want to leave this session hanging without a proper translation of this first line. And you can see, you see how long it's taken. We've been on. Well, we kind of talked about a couple of other things, but for the most part, this is a long time just on the first line. And when I zoom out, you can see how many lines this piece has. So this is not something that you're going to quickly do. And because we don't use this language every day, it's not something that we write in every day. It's not something that we speak every day. So we're always going to be playing catch up, so to speak. That's why it's always encouraged to practice, practice, practice. Spend a half an hour at least every day. Block out a half an hour's time and just look at some inscriptions and try to do what we're doing. Freestyle it first, and then once you do all you can in that kind of way, then break out the dictionaries and sign lists, or whatever the case is. And that's just as an exercise. But in the process of learning, we emphasize the method, stick to the method. Even when you're freestyling, we actually go through the method. It's just that we are trying to bypass the use of the sign list and the dictionary just to see what's in our head. All right. So the method is the same. Steps are the same. The method is the same. All right. So anybody had that dictionary open yet?
Yeah, I got the new one open up.
Okay, let's go back. All right, so now I'm pretty sure about this. I'm pretty confident of this as being old one or old elder who rejuvenates himself. But now where we first got kind of puzzled as with this NXX. So see if there's a word NXX.
Okay. Oh, hey.
NXF.
That again? No, NXX.
NXX.
Is there such a word?
Woo. It's loading now. I mean, it's searching page, and it's gonna be a bunch of them. It's still searching pages.
Still searching. So you have that.
It's still searching, so it's gonna be a bunch of them. This three done pulled up so far. It has flail. Yeah, right. That's right. I was looking at that. Well, that's it. Yeah, I was looking at that today. NXX is flail. I actually was reading something. It was talking about the crook and the flail today, and I want to know exactly what the flail was in the language of metadata. So yeah, that's NXX is more flail. It's still loading, man. I mean, it's searching. It says it's at 2250 now. I
I
think the
found it.
search is gonna stop at 2591.
Can you see my screen?
Oh, 1 second. Let me looking at the see your screen here.
So what did you put in? You just put in the Gardener codes, Antoine?
I put in NXX and just was clicking on them.
All right, so
Oh,
here
okay.
we go.
This is page 1343.
Yeah, okay, there we go. See, that's gonna make sense because NXX is the aged one or the old one. Again, you see that right there?
What's that number again? 1346?
1343
43.
You see it right there? No, no, not. You highlighting a lot right there, but the last one you highlighted.
with the stick.
Yeah, that one right there. Highlight that one. Okay, so that's it. Because you have the N and then the placenta, and then the man with the determinative, the man with the stick, A21. So it means to be old, old age, to last, the old or the age. So if I go back to my screen, I'm gonna switch it back. So if you look, that's the word that we're dealing with. Let me go back. So here we are right here. So we have N, X, X, and then the man with the stick. So it's the old one again. All right. So now, so where we were stuck. So now it makes sense. So now if we go back, it's um old elderly, old one. This is an old who rejuvenates himself in regards to his time. And then we're saying the old one, and then he does something because he who makes or who does or who makes or who creates.
To be.
So now look up and it's saying okay, now look up capital H W N W.
You said
Yes, capital H W N W. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Our okay.
You said capital H W N or capital H N W?
No, capital H W N W.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We have Lisa said we keep stopping before we get to what the triple ripple means. Those three ripples is mu for water. That's definitely something that we. Oh, Jehudi Ma'at already answered that. The three water ripples is mu for water. All right, so he already answered that.
I had
HWNW is overseer of the youth. What has that M in front of it? Let's see if I can find it with the correct glyphs.
So, but
Young man
you said overseer of the youth.
means I think it's gonna mean youth.
Okay,
HNW, I'm saying it's youth.
right. Okay, because that's what I suspected. Just because remember I said that this is you rejuvenate as a verb.
Can you see my screen?
Wait, let me switch it to.
Only got 4 interests. Excuse me. Only got 4 interested for it.
Mine's still loading. It's still set at 0. Let me go back and see if it done gave me those phones. No, it's still searching.
You got a Mac over there?
No, I don't got no Mac, man. I wish I had one.
Okay, scroll. Can you scroll up a little bit? Can you where you are go up? Yeah. All right. So now, we're dealing with a young man, child, young men as soldiers, etc., and then youth as a noun. All right, so we're all dealing with youth, and even above there, you have youthful and vigor, which is using the youthful vigor, which is right on page 2209, right at the bottom. Those last two entries right there. So we have a
Yeah,
child, young
actually,
man, be youthful, and then we have youthful vigor. Say it again.
at the right where he has it highlighted, the next entry, I think it is that we have that one apart from the last determinative. But then those are the entries
Cause
you
of
got on the cell. Yeah,
is it
Hmm.
cause of that bird? I mean, cause of that.
yeah, but the rest of it, yeah. So I guess it's the one. Yeah,
Okay, all right. So now, with that in mind, so let me go back to my screen, and we
Oh,
can.
oh, oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay. So you saying it's youth, man? I mean, I see the bowl and what is that? Hold on, let me go back to the picture. Okay, I see the bowl and the circle, whatever that is. I mean the circle nine. The well, I can't think of what that is. I can't remember the name of it, but I see that before you get to I guess the child with the hand to his mouth.
Yeah, that's in the dictionary. It's on 2210, page 2210.
I'm 22. Hold on. I'm looking on his thing. Let me go on. Let me just put it in my.
Well, on his, he has it highlighted in the orange or pink looking color. So you have with the exception
Okay.
of
Okay. Well,
G7,
right.
it's the
Right.
same. It's the same thing.
Okay. We got the bird in the back. Bird on the stand. Okay.
Right. So with the exception of that, it's the exact same glyph. So if you look at it, you can see the same thing here. We have the twisted flax, the rabbit hair, the water ripple, then the new bow, then the coiled rope, then you have that child. So it's youthfulness. So so basically, this is saying nekek, which is the elder or the aged one, um, does youthfulness. But when you say does youthfulness, it's not that wouldn't make really good sense in English. So when you say it does, because like when I say iri ma'at, it's like he who does truth. But that's not that don't really make sense. You know, you don't say somebody who does truth like that. You wouldn't word it exactly like that. You say achieve something or keep something or whatever. So if in the context of this whole thing, old one who rejuvenates himself according to or in respects to his time, aged one who achieves usefulness will be a better way of saying this. Okay, so all of these are going to the same person. So whoever this inscription is talking to, that's what is being said about them. So we know that they're old, but we know that they have achieved their usefulness, and we know that they rejuvenate themselves in respects to their time, or whatever the case is. So that's what we get so far. So now we know DX, like I said, DX is to give or you allow, and then to come. IW, we know that's to come to me, Jehudi. So allow Jehudi to come to me upon my voice. So now we got stuck right here. So now let's look up a word uh, that has the folded cloth, the placenta, the owl, and then the legs going backwards. So if such a word exists, it's going to have to be. I'm gonna tell you if it whatever it is, it's going to have to do with something retreating, something going backwards, something moving backwards. And we know that because of the determinative, these legs back here. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. These legs right here. So if you look up a SXM and then see if there's something that has that determinative. SXM. Yeah. I'm gonna put it on your screen, Antoine. I think you're looking up. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up, but I didn't follow directions. I'm looking at D55, but I can do um I'm looking at D55, but it's about a million of them. But you
Yeah.
say try S.
Yeah. SXM. Let's just see if such a word. Now I'm assuming that that's a placenta, so that's what we're checking for right now. And I'm just going to check the chat because we got some people. Yeah, I only got 4 entries. Overseer of the youth recruits. And since we are going to close out soon, if anybody wants to come into this particular hangout and get on the panel and let your voice be heard, let me know. Matter of fact, let me send this in. Where are we?
So SXM.
I'm passing out this link real quick. Um, there we go. Okay, so I gave the link out, so if anybody wants to jump on in here, jump in. Okay, so you had Sechem. All right, Sechem.
Is it Secum Area F?
Okay,
Like
wait.
on my screen?
I'm looking on your screen. All right, I'm seeing the S42 sign, but if you see anything outside of that,
Oh, you saying see it without the S42?
mm. No, it's with the photo cloth though.
Uh, what I get with to retrieve back, I think is the Seshew with the uppercase H, and I think it has, and the dictionary it has what, let's see, it has
You
the
said
N41. So on page 1864, I don't know if probably that could be the sign instead of the placenta.
you said 1864.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause well,
Oh,
Because the
okay.
other one I can't find it on the dictionary, so I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
okay.
probably something to repel.
All right, that's good because like I said, first assuming it was a placenta, then you look it up and you see how it didn't make sense and you didn't really find it. So now if you're looking up with the him, which is a biliteral for him, and that will make more sense because as you can see, you do see the word for repel, to move backwards or to repel, right there, a causative. So it's really hem, but the s is a causative prefix on there. So you have sehem. Now let's go back to the picture here. So now it will make sense. Well, sehem is to repel. And okay, so now let's go on to the next word then. Okay. ETM Hotep, brother Jehuti Ma'at, and brother Sean, who came in.
What's up, fam?
All right. Since y'all coming in late, we're gonna put you on the spot. We're gonna put y'all on the spot. All right. So
Especially Sean, especially put him on the spot, man, for his darn long piece.
I
yeah,
just came to say hello.
hello.
He just want his voice to be heard.
Yeah, since this is yours, John, and we still on the first line. But all right, we're getting to it though because like I said, we broke out the dictionary now, so we can be good to go. Because with the right tools, everybody should have the confidence. Because we can get through this whole thing if we had time. If y'all wanted to hang out for more time, we can get through this whole thing.
Right.
Man, trying to do this whole thing, man. Hell, it'll be October, man, when we finish.
Yeah, this right here is a paid research right here.
Yeah, you have to pay somebody to do this one. But okay, so let's finish it out. All right, so we have Sahem. All right, so Dua, Sonatonica. Good eyes for pointing that out. So instead of a placenta, and you can see it now. Now it makes sense because you can see the sign. Hold up, I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. Right here, it does look like the sign, the pot filled with water for him. So we have him.
The N42.
Yeah. And we have the S was a causative prefix. It was a causative verb, so it's repel or cause to repel. So obviously Jehudi, so it's saying allow Jehudi to come to me upon my voice or when I call, to cause to repel, and now we can start making sense of this. Repel him, which or he, or to cause him to repel, which you have the viper here. Now we have this N. So we have the N. It looks like a stroke under it, but I'm not quite sure if that's a stroke. But if so, you have this N and this N beside each other. And sometimes that could be used for the word me. So to me, for me, and now we're dealing with this. So let's just keep that in mind, to me or for me. And now we stuck with the word capital H, capital A. And I believe we already pretty much know what that means.
Then what the Hootie had put it in the chat. Then he say retreat. What did you get for that the Hootie?
Y'all got to retreat.
What for this one?
For for ha. No, that's just for ha.
Okay, look in the dictionary. Look for N, capital H, capital A. Together. Let's just rule that out. Just make sure.
Capital A.
Yeah, N, capital H, capital A.
Reverse. No, contrary, perverse.
Okay, contrary, perverse.
Let me check it. Look at the glyphs. No, that's the wrong glyphs.
Yeah, you got J12 at the end.
Let me see if who's looking at. Oh, you're looking at N, capital H, capital A. See, adverse. Adverse, trouble, concern, wild. Can you scroll up a little bit more, Antoine? Okay, infested, dangerous.
Hold on. Be dangerous because they're gonna crack it out.
There you go, right there. Go up. I mean,
is it was this 1411?
No, 1329. Right there.
Yeah, 1329.
That's it right there, because that's the actual word. Nahaher, because you have the face that's there.
Okay. I see it. I heard. Okay, well
Wow,
you
face one.
Wild face one.
1329.
So let's go back to the picture, and you see it.
You said,
So it's
hold
the
on.
huh?
Wait a minute, what page did y'all say that was on? Cause I'm
1329.
1329. I don't. That's not
It's the
on my
last.
page.
It's the second to last one.
Second to last
Yeah.
one.
Second to last entry on 1329.
Dang, that's dumb. I still don't see it on this here. Even when I typed it in, it don't even pull it up. I see it on 1411, but mine a little bit different on 4. That's why I said 14. Hold on, 1329. Let me try it again.
Yep, page 1329, the second to the last entry, and you have the wild face one.
So that was a crocodile.
That's not on mine.
That's what it looked like, a crocodile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kofi, the codes is N35 G1, M16 G1, G37. No, I'm sorry. It's N35 G1, M16 G1,
Now,
G. Uh,
I was gonna say, remember what I said before in the previous hangout. Whenever a lot of times when you see this reed leaf quail chick combination for the word "you," as they pronounce it, "you" or "iw," it's usually it's an auxiliary, usually at the beginning of a sentence. So this will give us a clue that this ends the sentence. So from the first one all the way to right here where we are, and it makes sense because now we know that this is cause to repel him for me, the wild face one.
All right. Damn, man. I was sharing my darn. Okay. I'm sharing my screen, but the darn. Hold on.
All
Cause
right.
it's on 1411, and then I have uh
Yeah, there you go.
uh
With the with and terrible. Yeah, wild face right there. You have wild face. Now,
yeah, but the signs. All right, see, that's why I don't like using this new one, because you can't. It tears off the. You can't even see the other side of it without me pulling it back up. I like it where both of them just stay together. But see what my gardener codes, and let me see if I can pull the darn thing back up where it's all together
whatever
again, so you can.
whatever you share, like when you share screen, you're sharing your actual search thing instead of the other screen.
Right, I'm trying to go back and okay, well let me see.
I think Antoine had it up.
I don't see it on 1411.
Yeah, but see, mine on 1411. If I punch in 1329, it shows something else, and I got
No, no,
2015 pulled up.
no. But see, you got to remember that the depending on which PDF reader you're doing, the PDF page may be one thing, but then the page number listed in the document itself may say something different.
Okay.
So if you look up 1329 on the page document itself, it may sound something different. That's what some people get confused, and I always gotta
Yeah, cause see, I got the PDF. What I did, I just went into my documents because I saved it when whatever Yahoo were Atiba, he did something to 2015, and then when he threw it in the box, I just download and put it into my desktop.
Okay, so wait a minute. So if you're using his, then yeah, yours may say some different stuff. So so just look at Antoine's for now because he has it on the screen.
Okay, so what do I need to do to get this version here? Because I thought we was all using what a Tebow had put in there. Because I don't know what he had did
No, I
to it,
think
but
I
he
think he did the to include the beginning because something was missing out from the 2012 to the 2015. But I could send you this one. So
yeah
after we get off, I'll send you this one.
yeah.
So this one is Naha Her. So we basically know this is Wild Face one.
Mm.
All right, and it deals with a crocodile and it's determined by a crocodile. So the crocodile is what you see. So even though you were kind of, I think somebody was joking, but that is what it was. Um,
No, I was serious.
oh,
You want to know serious? Quit playing.
all right.
Serious.
All right, so now let's read the whole thing for it to make sense, because that's the end of the sentence. Because like I said, you right here, this IW or reed leaf quail chick combination is an auxiliary that usually starts a sentence. Basically, a sentence, matter of fact. You're making a statement. So it's saying you will sear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Dealing with water and some more stuff. But we're gonna stop right here. Oh, you can't see my cursor. Let me go back. Okay, we're gonna stop right here. So the crocodile or alligator, a crocodile, is the end of our sentence. So we go back to the beginning. It will be Iyau, which is O elder. Renep Su, which is rejuvenates himself. And then by itself, people pronounce the R by itself as Then you have Nu, which will be according to Nu F, be his time. And then Nakek, which is the aged one. Iri, which is does youthfulness, but somebody doesn't do youthfulness. We would translate it better in English as somebody who practices youthfulness, or somebody who achieves it. So it'd be better to say the old one or the aged one who achieves youthfulness. And then allow to come to me, or allow Jehuti to come to me upon my voice, to cause to repel him for me, the wild face one. And that's it. And we probably make a better, a little more fluid, even what I just said. But that's to make it make more sense.
All right. So yeah, just for clarification, I think the circle on the word new, that was the SanDisk, what time? Because you said time, right?
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm. So anybody got any comments, questions, information to share? Sean, this is your thing, so what do you think?
Man, I think I would have lost my mind.
You should do the next line.
All right, so Sean, this is what we're gonna do. You and Jehudi Ma'at, y'all got the next line, so let's hear it. Let's go for
it. So line 2. Isn't that the Kepra beat right there?
It sure is, but now if it's Kepler with the wings, it may be something different.
Okay, I'm unfamiliar. But
let me see, Kepra.
Hey, I was actually playing.
Got another 10 hours.
Yeah, if we had time, we no problem. Matter of fact, we'll just make this an ongoing one. So we'll just make this an ongoing freestyle, and we'll do as much as you can freestyle like we did tonight, and then open up the dictionaries when it gets rough, and at least so we can complete a line or two or whatever the case is. And then because what's going to happen is when a lot of signs repeat, because this is the first line in this inscription, so this is like a new inscription and a new line. But what you'll find is that when you start off, it'll be slow, but because a lot of the signs repeat themselves, you're going to find out that you're going to get faster even within one particular text like this. So the first line may take you an hour, and the next line may take you less and less, and as you go along, it'll take you less time, just on the strength of coming across the same sign, same sign combinations, which means the same words, etc. So it'll become faster and faster. And that's why I don't, when you practice this, I don't suggest to jump from inscription to inscription, just jump all around the place until you fully do one. Now, because we only have 2 hour, we're trying to limit it to 2 hour recordings, then it looks like, from recording to recording, we're jumping around. But I don't recommend people to jump around. Just stick to one inscription, complete the whole thing, because you're going to find yourself getting faster and faster just within that one inscription. So Just want to put that out there.
That Kepler L1.
Kepler L1.
Correct.
Oh, but what about the one with the wings?
That's the you got to find it. You got to get the extended glyphs for that one.
Hmm.
'Cause I don't see that one.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, anybody? Oh, ETM Hotep to Lisa. I didn't. She kind of snuck in here. Definitely didn't want to say anything because we're gonna call on call her.
Thank you. I'm here.
All right. Definitely calling on everybody. But all right. Let me. I guess I can stop sharing my screen. Well, anybody have any comments about this? You know.
Uh, no, I think Antoine did a good job. This is really was one of the tough ones, but he
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
an
Definitely.
excellent job. You know.
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, you guys did a terrific job tonight. The freestyle, just looking at this can be intimidating. Just looking at
Hmm.
for you to be able to freestyle it like that.
The sad part is this is the back piece of it, of the stellar.
Mhm.
Yeah. This the back piece. And I let me zoom back out because um, I went straight to the back piece. Let me zoom back out because of the intimidation. Because when you look at the whole Stella, it looks crowded. It's full of glyphs. It has some rows and columns. It goes from columns to figurines to rows, back to columns, then rows, then columns, then two rows at the very bottom. So it's nice. It's nice, compact. It's condensed. It looks nice and everything like that. And this could be intimidating. So we have to push through that intimidation. You know, none of this stuff. Because the thing about it is, once you know the process or the method, and you know how to perform the method, then not knowing the words is not a scary thing, because you know you can find out because you have the dictionaries as a tool and you have sign lists. So so it really shouldn't be intimidating to anybody who's gone through a learning process, especially on the beginner's level. Anybody who's gone through the class, you won't be intimidated because you'll look at this and be like, all right. At the most, you'll be like, oh man, this going to take me some time. You know, that's pretty much it. But the intimidation shouldn't be there because you're like, all right, well, I can handle this because I can look up everything. You know, I know the method. I got the sign list to back me up. I got the dictionaries to help me out, and let me just go for it. And then you'll just look up every sign. You follow those steps, and you get it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like most of the time, if I'm browsing through something, trying to find something just to transliterate and translate, and I'm looking at a stellar, like some of these stellars like here, I might look at it, but I skip right on past it because I'm just being honest with you. It's not as far as me being intimidated with it. It's like that's just I look at it, I like, man, that's just too much to be trying to do at one time. That's gonna take a long time to do for me to try to do by myself, to try to go through all that. So I skip that and find me a different stellar or another glyph, where it's not too time consuming. Because looking at that, man, like I said, you trying to do that, hell, I'll be doing that to 2019, man.
Yeah, but it's good to get these long ones and then do a little bit, put it to the side, come back to it. I just don't recommend being too scattered. And the only reason why I say that is because within this same inscription, you're gonna find yourself getting faster and faster as you go through it. By the time you get to the bottom, you're gonna be a lot faster than how you were at the top. That's just a natural fact. That's just a natural way of this. It's gonna happen. And the reason why that happens is because just like English, um, certain if somebody's writing a book and you're reading a chapter of a book, when you first open the book and you're reading the first line of the first chapter of the book, you don't know what the author, you don't know the vernacular of the author. You don't know how the choice of words that they're using and stuff like that. So it may be a rough read on the first couple of pages of a brand new author, of a brand new book, in a brand new chapter that you're checking out. But once you get used to that author's vernacular and the words that they're choosing and things like that, then you can read faster. and 9 times out of 10 they're going to be using the same words throughout their book. So it's the same way with these inscriptions, because of the subject matter, um, and then two, because these artifacts allows us to know that it's dealing with the same kind of subject matter, same thing. So whatever the story is, whatever, if this is a Stella, then obviously this is some kind of we'll probably see somewhere along the lines of offering or some kind of spell, as they call it, spells, um, and things like that. So that's why it'll get faster. So that's why I recommend, sticking to one. And now it definitely could be time consuming, but just put it up for a little while, come back to it the next day, and continue where you left off.
Definitely takes us some time. But one good thing about it is that, like kind of like Tonisha helped us out. Um, when I get stuck, I'll just put up the glyph in the group or put it up in the chat. So like a lot of these, I probably would have got stuck because I wouldn't recognize what the sign was. So that part would have frustrated me, not recognizing what the sign was. But then I would have been able to go back and, like I said, send it out to my peers and say, I'm stuck on this sign. Anybody have any suggestions, or anybody know what this is? And then get a little bit of help. So that kind of keeps me motivated as well. On my screen, I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's where where it talks about the seated God and the king. One, the seated God having the curved beard and a straight wig,
Okay.
and the king having a straight beard.
Okay.
I believe that's A40, A41.
Hold on now. What now? The which one with the? What about the straight beard? I just clicked on now. What you were saying?
The curve, like it says, it's A40, and it's the seated deity. And the notes, it says note the slightly curved beard and the straight wig. This is determinative. You can see it different places. You'll see it at, and then the A40, it's just the king because it has the straight beard.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
All right.
Sometimes because it's so little, sometimes it's hard to recognize that in the drawings, but I guess that's the difference for those interested.
Bring it back up. All right. So, all right, we did that first line, so we know we're starting off here. So anybody wanna take a stab, see how fast we can go through the next few glyphs, not the whole line, but a few glyphs. All right, how about just from you over to here? Because somebody already said water. We already said this is Wasir, and I already explained this auxiliary for you, which is pretty much untranslated. Just let you know that you're dealing with a statement. But so what's this? This is the only thing that we didn't talk about. This is basically the forward face, like how we have here.
Was syrup on the water?
Yeah, there you go. Real easy.
Mm-hmm.
Seer is upon the water. And then we have another I here. So ear is like a raised bread loaf. So irit. And then MAF.
What's that sign again?
Yeah.
What bird is that? We didn't figure out what bird that was.
Oh yeah. You talking about the bird? I'm talking about the bird and the Karate Kid over there on the side.
Yeah, that was M, the owl, and the hand together.
Okay, right. MA, or you say, and it can be MI also, right? Or how would you distinguish from being MI to MA? Because I know because it's hard for me to make it out. But if it was big enough where I could have made it out, I would have had MI on there.
Yeah, well, that would be something you put down, but then you start looking it up and making it make sense. Then you may have to change what you had, or keep it the same. You'll see. So if you would have wrote down MI first, then yes, stick with that. But then when you look it up, you may have to change it. So
that's a pretty popular combination because it actually looks like almost like simple sesh. Those two glyphs combined.
Hmm.
Looks like they may have taken on another form later in hieratic.
Okay. I'm getting these. Anybody? Any comments? No. Everybody that was on the chat is in here now. So
Um, yeah. I guess because somebody had asked about the Keppera's line with the wings before,
oh, Kepper with the
and I
wings.
just want. Sorry.
You said somebody asked about the Kepper with the wings.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I just wanted to add that sometimes if you can find the signs like on the sign list or at the back of the book, usually I kind of use the JSesh, and you can get that as well. Like,
Oh, true.
right, so I think that's L12A or something like that.
All right. Well, to finish this out, really quick, is we have Wasir is upon the water. We have Irit. Now, most likely this bird, because it looks different than the rest, Irit. We know it's not because it's T. It's normalized, as we say, normalized. So it would be Irit, and you have the stroke under it. So this is talking about what an Iri or Irit is, which is the eye itself. So most likely this is the eye of Heru. This most likely is a falcon. So it'd be Irit Heru, the eye of Horus, and then we would have to make this out. So it'd be either MI like you said, Kofi, or MAF, and then we come over here. We have Kepper with the wings, and then we have the word were, so the great Kepper, and then Pesh, her upon him, and that's what I can see off the top of my head. So anybody got a dictionary open, you could look up some stuff.
I got that MI on the screen.
Am I okay? Let me switch to your screen. Let's see what you got going on. Uh, M used as last. So phonetically M, originally MI. May he be neglectful? Combination used last.
That's just an example, but I guess the MI is what I was looking at.
All right. Well, that's not making sense. Let me go back to go back to the picture. M. No other combination with that owl in the arm.
You said an owl in the arm.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm sharing this picture, I can't open. I'm not. I'm gonna open up my dictionary, but yeah. So you gotta look up that. Neglect. The eye of Heru, neglect. The great scarab, because you're dealing with were or Kepler were. The great wing scarab, and actually this a different word for this. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a different word for this. We wouldn't transliterate this as Kepler per se, but it is Kepler, but it's the wing Kepler, and there is a different word for that. But it's the great wing scarab. And then we
I think
have PS. P capital S Pesh, which is to cover, spread out. And we're saying so the great Keper, the great wing Keper is spread out upon him, her F upon him.
Were we looking for the word M-E?
Yeah, you found something?
Yeah, I think it's on page 636.
Okay, Antoine, you go to 636 because I got your screen shared. There you go. Okay, go up again a little bit. Okay, among therein. Because see, you have this pronoun there after it, and it wouldn't make sense to say take him or because of him, but among or therein, among him or with him. Because I know basically M is a preposition. All right, so it and in English we got different prepositions that could be that the M or the owl could be translated as. That's why sometimes the owl could be by, it could be with, it could be in, and stuff like that. So it's a little flexibility there, but um, to take or because of that you see right there on the screen doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I don't even where you guys at. I don't even see on the picture.
On the
You
sc-
see something?
on the picture, let me go back to my screen real quick. So on the
I'm on
picture
my
itself,
phone, so I can't really see it too good.
okay, we're right here at the very end of the first line. Yep, the end of
That last sign is an owl with the arm going through it.
the last three signs. It looks like an owl with an arm going through it, and then the horn viper.
Or
So
the
if that's a
horn
horn
back at the
viper, then
bottom. Oh, I got you. Okay.
F. The eye of Heru among him, but we wouldn't say among him. We would say in English we would say with him. So if Osir is upon the water, the eye of Heru is with him, and the great winged scarab is spread out upon him or over him. That's pretty much rough of how what I would get out of that. But anyway, so I don't want to drag this out. Anybody got any let me stop sharing so we can kind of wrap this up. So any closing comments? Anything that anybody's studying they got want to share? Any epiphanies? Any discoveries? Like I said, this artifact, man, this artifact came from what was it, about 2,000 miles under the surface of the Earth. That's why it's black. Came from 18th galaxy, crash landed as a meteorite, and then sunk in the molten rock. And then when the Earth's crust hardened, it just got stuck there. So,
I had something I wanted to ask.
all right, go ahead.
Did anybody see that video? Was it got OC Kafour or something like that? Where he's reading
Oh
the
man.
metadata with his pineal gland,
Oh no,
and
I haven't.
pyramid and the sun and everything like that. Did anybody see that?
No, I haven't seen that. If you got a link
I
for it,
think I think we talked about that like a couple weeks ago.
Whoa, man.
The guy who was I don't think any of us. I think somebody watched it. I think June watched it, but it was the guy who was basically saying he was able to read the glyphs from his third eye.
From the sun? Was that the dude that said the writings come from the sun or something?
Right, right.
Yeah,
You got to
Yeah,
download it in your pineal gland.
yeah.
right. The OC dude.
Yeah, we invited him on. We
Put
invite
down
we
the
invited
books.
him.
Don't be stupid. Put down the
Yeah,
books.
yeah, we invited him on the show to give us a demonstration.
Wait, so you guys so he have a place where he's actually doing that? Or
Yeah, see, I'm saying I've heard that statement being made, but I haven't seen the brother on any videos actually try to do it. So if you're saying that that's what he's doing, then yeah, share the link. I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, I'll share the link in the group after the show.
He was
Okay.
more making the claim that you're able to do that without actually studying the language or having someone teach it to you. You should just automatically be doing it by looking at the sun.
Okay, man. Now see, this is the thing. This is the problem. Everybody that makes those kinds of claims, whether it's those extreme claims, all the way to the claims that the glyphs are not deciphered, every single person that makes those claims are people who do not study the language, and that's a common denominator among that we can see real quick. They just don't study the language, and it just goes to show you that ignorance will produce a lot of strange claims.
Yeah, he made, well, he didn't make that claim. I bought his book maybe a year ago, the Black Bible, and he doesn't make the claim as downloading, but downloading the Netcher from the Sun, but he does make a reference in the book that you can download information from the Sun code or something. He says in the book for this, you can download any type of information from the Sun. So I guess that's where that's what even the statement he made in the book. So I guess he's saying when he said that about the pineal gland, that the same thing you can download, that if you can download any type of language from the Sun code to activate the pineal gland in order to decipher uh the meta Netcher.
Now, if that was true, then he should be a omniglot, not even a polyglot. He should be an omniglot. That means he knows all languages
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
the planet, or even a polyglot where he knows several languages on the planet. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, all of that does that just short circuit the procedure on how to learn. That circumvents the entire learning process. If that was the case, then why write a book? Period. Because if he says it in a book, then obviously what he said, I could have downloaded that from the Sun as well.
Yeah, he's
That's what I told
into
y'all. I invited him on the group. I invited him to Freestyle Friday.
yeah,
So
he's in that he's in the thing of astral projection and all those things, like uh what's the young guy name, young Pharaoh. So he's in that same type of information about I hadn't heard him. Well, I don't really watch a lot of videos. I'm just basing off of his book
Well,
that I bought. He's
see,
huh?
now I said let's do this. Okay, so I mean individual brothers, we don't deal with the person or what they're into, the claim that's made. See, in relation to the language, if the brother is making the claim that Sesh Medu Netcher can be read simply by downloading something from the Sun by way of your pineal gland and stuff like that, then that claim is false. You cannot do that. And if that's the case, then somebody would have to demonstrate that, and there's no demonstration of that. And that is pseudoscience by definition, because what happens is you're not able to falsify that claim. Because if I claim that I can read something based on the energy from the Sun, and then if let's say I make that claim, and then I come into this hangout, y'all invite me to this hangout, and I come in and y'all show me a picture of some glyphs, and I'm downloading some stuff from the Sun, and I tell you what I've downloaded, how are you going to falsify that?
But he wouldn't be able to do it at this time of night. The sun gone.
Well, true, yeah. I mean, but
You gotta use the moon at nighttime. Download.
well, maybe he has maybe no, I might say he, but maybe there is a solar panel, just like how you can store sun energy. Maybe there's a reserve that you can pull from as well. But still, the point is that my point is that that claim and all the other claims, not particularly again, we're dealing with the brother because the brother's not here, so I don't want to make it seem like we're talking about the brother or even young Pharaoh or Osea. But the claim, see, we deal with claims, the information. So the claim itself, any claim like that, similar or otherwise, always comes from people who don't study the language. They just don't study the language. They cannot demonstrate proficiency or competency in the language. Period. And that's a problem. So you get people who are who it sounds good because anything that will prevent you from doing a whole bunch of work sounds good. Like for example, the picture that we were just dealing with. You saw how intimidating it is in terms of the amount of time that you have to take to translate that. Now, if I told you there was a way to translate that whole thing in 5 minutes versus a week, then naturally you're gonna want to hear me out on the 5 minute version. And if it sounds good and I could convince you, then you're gonna roll with it.
To
And
add on to, oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I mean,
I was just gonna say to add on to that. If you go around, you have followers, and you claiming you have comedic knowledge of science, and you selling books, and you have students, and they find out you can't read Netcher, then it's gonna be a problem.
exactly.
I find a lot of people trying to justify why they can't read it by making false claims about how they can read it.
Exactly, that's a good point, and that goes right into the point that we have people claiming to be high priests or priestesses of Kemetic something, and they cannot read Seshew Netcher. Now, to my knowledge, there is no African tradition on the continent, living or once lived, that the high priest of a specific tradition did not understand the method of communication within that tradition, meaning that you have to know the language that the tradition is recorded in. We know language is the DNA of culture, therefore it's the DNA of tradition as well. So in order for you to practice the tradition accurately and be a high priest of it, then it stands to reason that you must know the language of that tradition. So we have people out here claiming to be high priestesses and priests and this and that of Kemet, but they don't know the language. So that should be a red flag right there.
So how do we go okay? I know a few elders that say they are hymn netters, which we know are high priests, and they've been in the Remich, been studying the Remich culture for a long time, but they don't honestly know the language, and they use and I know a few use Wallace Burge transliteration and translation, which I have a problem with because a lot of those transliterations he have, I end up fixing them. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing some work, I don't go by his transliteration or his translation. But I know a lot of them use them. So how can we go to the elders and say, okay, you're not a hymn netter? You know what I'm saying? I respect, you've been doing this for 20 or 30 years, or you may have some type of facility or some type of small school where you've been educating some people on the Remich culture, but you're not a hymn netter because you don't know the language. I mean, how do we go to those elders and tell them that they're not high priests when they say they high priests and they've been studying it for years? And one of the well, I'm not gonna say one of the elders' name, but one of the elders was just on Sonetta's TV, and the only reason why I looked at it is because Smalls was on there. If Smalls wouldn't have been on there, I wouldn't have looked at it at all because I don't really watch those videos like that.
All right, this is the thing. Well, we wouldn't tell a person that they're not a hymn netter. That's not how we would handle it. But what we would do, we would accurately put that person who calls themselves a hymn netter, we would put them in a more accurate context. So you can call yourself what you want. You can call yourself Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. It doesn't matter. It's the value that you have based on what you can and what you cannot do. So if a person who calls themselves hymn netter, which means a servant of the divine,
Mm-hmm.
another word for high priest or high priest, That's fine. But the value of that such a person who cannot read Seshew or Netcher, the value goes down. Because if I have somebody, just do this, a person who claims to be a hemnetter but can't read the language, and then a person who doesn't even claim to be a hemnetter who can read the language and has a command and proficiency and competency of the language and is familiar with the inscriptions and text, who is more valuable? It's obviously the person who can read it and can dive right into the text and cut out the middleman. So it's not that you would tell them that what they're not. You would just place a value on them and let them do what they do, but you'll just know the value of it. It's like for um uh like a metal, like copper. You can't tell copper is not copper anymore. It's just that the value may change. Like if you compare copper to gold in terms of value, gold is more valuable for a particular purpose. So if our purpose is to take command of the text and try to apply exactly what the Remich recorded, then a person who can read the language is more valuable than a person who can't. It's just that simple. So that's it. So I wouldn't go to any elder and tell them what they're not. I would just accurately I would accurately label them. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't put a medium tag on a large shirt. Period. You just wouldn't do that. If it's a medium, you put a medium label on it. If it's a large, you put a large on it. So a hemnetter, the hemnetter can stay calling themselves a hemnetter or whatever the case is. It's just that now we can accurately place you in this value system, though. That's all. So because that's the best way to handle it, because you can't go around telling people who and what they're not, because that's just gonna open the door for combat. But he said it's a medium. But so yeah, so I'm saying that would be the better approach. People want to call themselves high priestess and stuff like that, high priestess, high priestesses, of whatever, and they can't speak the language, fine, but it's just that you just know how to accept them. That's all. But now here's the facts, though. The fact is that in order to practice a tradition more accurately, whatever, it's best to know the language. I mean, that's just common sense. If you're a Christian, it's best to learn Greek, because if you focus on the New Testament, it's translated out of the Greek. Therefore, it's better for you to learn Greek. That's just common sense. If you're a Muslim practicing Islam, it is just common sense for you to learn Arabic. That way you can read the Quran in the language that the tradition is conveyed in. Period. If you are a practitioner of Ifa, traditions of the Yoruba people in Nigeria, then it's best for you to learn Yoruba, because that's the tradition, that's the language that the tradition is recorded in, and we know language is the DNA of culture, so it records it. That all I'm saying is what's common sense. So Kemet is no different. Anybody who claims to be a practitioner of Kemet tradition or even a high priest in it, it's just common sense to learn the language. And those who don't know it versus those who do know it, you can place the value system there. That's it. That's how you handle that.
In defense of the good elder, Professor Smalls, he did say he wasn't an expert or a scholar when it comes to Egypt. So
yes,
yeah,
yep,
so.
right, yep. And Professor,
he said more of inept of African spirituality.
Yeah, I wasn't addressing Professor Smalls. I mean, he is. I mean, I actually give high honors to Professor Smalls. I wasn't I wasn't trying. I'm not calling anybody name out. I said I looked at the show because of Professor Smalls, because I have that much utmost respect for the elder. So I wasn't calling him out, and I know he stated that on numerous occasions that he's not a professional in the Remich culture. I mean, he studied. He's more versed when you talk about West Africa spiritual systems. But I mean, I wasn't. It was another elder that was on there that and I respect him, and I respect his works and the things that he does, and I know he considered himself to be a high priest, and I know he doesn't know the language, so that's why I was just saying, you know, he's a high priest, and he has done a lot of things, and I'm not trying to you know what I'm saying, downplay anything that he have you know, he has been doing.
All right,
For,
but like I said though, people want to be whatever um, they are, and see, the reason why I say it the way I'm saying it is because there's value in a person who doesn't know the language. Just because you don't know the language doesn't mean that you are not putting into practice or can contribute or can even help people or lead people or counsel people and this and that. The whole point is very just a basic common sense point. It's just a greater value. A person will have a greater value if they know the language the tradition is recorded in. That's just a common sense thing. So, but with that, you know, we've been going on for so long. I'm gonna close out. I'll say dua to everyone who tuned in and who will be watching this as an archive. And it took us a long time to go through that first line. We did it without the dictionary, without the aid of the sign list. But as you can see, as soon as we open up the dictionary, we could pretty much flow through it, you know. And I got confidence that we could get through the whole thing. Matter of fact, we probably want to hold off where we are, you know, and pick up where we left off maybe next Friday, if no other interesting pictures. And Sean, we had to put you on timeout because you contributed enough pictures already. We've been doing all of yours. But with that being said, I'll say Shimon. Anybody have any last remarks? I don't want to just close it on me.
Real quick, I just wanted to say real quick. I'm sorry. Just wanted to say that I knew what the brother was saying before. I just wanted to clear it up for the listeners. That's all.
Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, and all right. Well, with that said, I say Shimon Hotep.
I think Lisa has something to say.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess not. She had a microphone.
Nobody else? All right. Okay. Well, and on the note of what we were talking about, Lisa, you had something to say?
No.
Okay. Along the lines of what we were talking about, this is one of the motivations behind the Seshew Ma'ani Medew Netcher. Seshew Ma'ani Medew Netcher means loyal scribes of the divine words, but we're aspiring to be true scribes of divine words. So this is why we take it serious. We're studying the language so that we can dive directly into the inscriptions like we're doing, and we're able to extract anything useful to be applied to our daily lives or in the lives of us as a group. You know, to be able to apply, you know, whatever's helpful, whatever's useful, and use Kemet and the genius of the mentality of the people of ancient Kemet as a resource. All right, so this is one of the purposes of why we do what we do. All right, so that out of what we're doing, we will have a greater value to the community if we so choose to be a person that offers services to other people, such as a priest of any rank within the tradition. It's just best and common sense to learn a language so that you're able to extract from the text. And because there's a lot of pseudo science and pseudo scholarship that's out there on the internet, because the internet is a curse and a blessing. The internet it opens the way for us to have access to a lot of information, but a lot of information, that information that it could be accurate or inaccurate, true or false. So learning the language directly, dealing with things directly, you're able to kind of filter out the things that are wrong, you know, whether they're intentionally put out as wrong or sincerely, you know, somebody may think they're sincere with it, but it could just simply be wrong. So this is just the best move to make, learn the language, and that's what we emphasize. So with that, I'm gonna say Shemem Hotep.